Hi, and welcome back for another daily dose of anime recaps. In this episode, we'll be covering the 7th and 8th episodes of the newly released anime, Blue Lock. Japan's soccer team needs to regroup after facing a shattering defeat in the 2018 World Cup. How are they going to select the best players from all over the country? Simple. The Japan Football Union gathers 300 of the best players in their Blue Lock training facility, where the soccer genius, Ego Jinpachi, wants to create the best team in the world with the best striker. Yoichi Isagi enters this equation by joining the training program when he receives an unusual invitation for this player improvement program. We join him on this crazy adventure where he finds himself playing for his life to get a spot on the team. Before we begin, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. The 7th episode begins with a 12-on-10 in favor of Team W. Kuon has betrayed Team Z and is not remorseful about it. Team Z has 15 minutes to equalize the score. Isagi takes the ball as he does not want to face a defeat this way. However, the Wanima brothers surround him from both sides, telling him that none of his plans will work since Kuon has already told them about their tactics and weapons. Kuon takes the ball from Isagi, telling him to give up and making it evident that he's playing for the other team. Team W attacks with Kuon running towards his own team's goal with the ball. Everyone is on high alert as Keisuke kicks the ball towards the goal. They are unable to score, to everyone's relief. Lemon slightly touches the ball, making it hit the post instead of the goal. Team Z is not doomed after all. Lemon encourages his team to score a goal, so they can have a fighting chance if they win the next game. Team Z really needs a pep talk right now. Chigiri runs to get the ball, but Keisuke reaches there before him and walks away, mocking him by saying that they will end his career today. Chigiri stands still and starts recalling his time at Rakasute Business High School, where he came across the Wanima brothers. The brothers were the self-proclaimed stars of the team. Chigiri interrupted them, saying that he came there to win the championship and did not support their unproductive hierarchy. The brothers were just as shocked as everyone else since no one had questioned them before. They played against him to show him his place. However, they weren't aware of Chigiri's skills, who beat them 2-on-1. The coach started favoring Chigiri and made him the team's forward, to the brothers' dismay. Game after game, Chigiri showed his talent to everyone, making the Rakasute team win. He started imagining his future as the best striker in the world. One fateful game night changed his outlook when he received an injury called the right ACL tear. The doctor told him that if he ever received that injury in the same spot, he would never be able to play football again. Chigiri visited Rakasute again with crutches. The Wanima brothers spotted him and made fun of him, asking him his worth when he could no longer run the way he used to. His talent was presumably gone. He went through a tough rehabilitation and joined Rakasute again. The brothers mock him again since he couldn't run at full speed, asking him if he's scared of getting injured on his knee again. Chigiri imagined chains holding his legs locked, narrating that he wasn't scared of the injury, but was afraid to lose himself, trying to get on the top. He has been looking for ways to give up ever since. He's waiting for the 5 minutes to end. After these 5 minutes, he's going to end his soccer career for good. That's when he hears Isagi screaming his name and telling him, with full passion, that it's not over yet. Raichi and Kunigami get the possession of the ball, tackling the opposing team with their skill. Isagi gets the ball. When Keisuke gets in his way again, he never stops grinning and interrupting other people, does he? Keisuke advises him against trying so much, since they know their tactics already. He thinks there is no way for them to win. Isagi focuses on their defense in depth and finds out that Bakira is being marked constantly and Kunigami has no space to take a shot. He can't possibly pass the ball to his teammates. He knows that they're outnumbered and is desperate to find a route to score a goal somewhere. Kuon arrives there to tell him to give up. It's a lost cause. The time is almost up. The universe has something else planned for Team Z. They get 3 minutes of additional time, so it's not over yet. Isagi doesn't want it to end here. He decides that he will tear everyone apart if he can't use weapons. He takes matters into his own hands and wants to score a goal. His eyes speak the determination that he's feeling. He gets away from Keisuke, and Kuon runs with the ball. Team W is not going to sit back and watch. Junichi tackles him and gets the ball. Isagi's teammates yell at him, saying that he can't do it alone, but he runs towards the ball again, not listening to anyone. Chigiri is watching everything from afar. He doesn't understand why Isagi just keeps going after the ball and wishes that he should stop. He doesn't think believing in himself is going to take him anywhere. Isagi retakes the ball and passes it to Chigiri, who stands there frozen like before. Isagi cannot take the chance and tells him to get out of his way, pushing him and taking the ball. Chigiri sits there annoyed, thinking how he will just end his career after this match. However, watching Isagi's determination and passion, he realizes realizes that Asagi is just like how he used to be. He knows that Asagi wants to be the best in the world, just like he did, and will stop at nothing to achieve his dream. He wonders what's scaring him and decides that getting injured again or not, being able to play anymore doesn't matter. The only thing that matters to him is the adrenaline rush he's feeling watching Asagi play. He breaks his imaginary shackles that were holding his leg. He doesn't care if this is his last game. He just wants to play soccer. He declares that he is the best striker in the world as all of his chains break away. Asagi is alert, stating that he can smell a goal. His teammates are screaming at him to pass the ball. He spots Chigiri running down the opposite flank, hugging the touchline. He kicks the ball with all his might to the other side. As the ball is in the air, Team Z starts thinking that they are doomed, since none of their team members is on that side. Team W starts celebrating their win already. Chigiri is running at lightning speed, leaving behind everyone. Kuon reaches the ball and is about to kick it when Chigiri arrives there, snatching the ball away from him. Everyone is shocked watching Chigiri's speed. He's enjoying the sensation of kicking into high gear and eating up the ground. The Wanima brothers are also surprised to see him running again. Chigiri doesn't really care about being a genius or never playing soccer again. He only cares about the absolute joy and rush he feels when he plays soccer. He enjoys outrunning everyone and beating other people's speed. He kicks the ball for a pass and catches onto it, making everyone admire him. Keisuke tries to tackle him, but can't catch him when he's running like the wind. Keisuke screams at the goalkeeper to stop him when Chigiri finally jumps and kicks the ball, making the goalkeeper slide from underneath. As the ball hits the goal, Chigiri states that he only wants a chance to play soccer. The score is even now as the match comes to an end. There is a wave of happiness all over Team Z as they realize that they will stay afloat for now. Asagi comes to Chigiri looking impressed with his legs that can really motor. He tells him that watching him play inspired him, and he didn't know what was important to him anymore. He wants to put his faith on this new version of himself, who gets fired up to play no matter what. He thanks Asagi, stating that he'll continue to play until his legs stop, and the fire that has been lit up inside of him goes out. Asagi proposes that they play together. They shake hands while making it clear to each other that they both want to become the best in the world. There cannot be two people at the top. The rest of Team Z arrives there, congratulating Chigiri and saying that they had no idea he had such a powerful weapon. They know they are hanging on by a thread, but this draw has made them really happy. None of them wants to forgive Kuon, though. In that instant, they watch as Kuon is getting beat up by Team W because he promised to make them win. They think he kept Chigiri's leg and speed a secret from them, when Kuon himself didn't even know. Asagi stops them from beating him, making them turn towards Asagi to beat him up. Kunigami stops them from touching his teammates. An announcement states that the 7th and 8th matches are over. Team V beats Team X 5-2. Team W and Team Z have ended their match in a 4-4 draw. Back at the locker room, Team Z can't believe that they have managed to draw the match. They discuss their final game against Team V that has 10 players as well. However, they haven't lost any matches yet. They find Kuon talking to Nagi, Tsurugi, and Mikage, who are all team players of Team V. He's making them the same offer as Team W. They aren't impressed with his deal, and Tsurugi declines it. Nagi asks Mikage to give him a piggyback ride since he's tired. Mikage explains to him that Kuon wants to make this deal because he wants to win. Nagi indirectly calls him weak and says that he'd rather quit than go through all the hassle of being weak. He wonders out loud if football is fun even if you lose. That's when Asagi shows up, telling him not to underestimate football. Asagi introduces himself as the one who's going to defeat them, with the rest of his team standing behind him. Episode 8 takes off with Lemon explaining that match 9 ended in a draw, with Team Y's Nico scoring the equalizer against Team W. This makes Team Z in 3rd place. As the whole team watches on with serious expressions, Lemon continues saying that their next game against Team V is the final game of the building. They won't advance if they draw the match due to their worst goal difference. Raichi notices that Kuon is listening in on their plans, but Naruhaya isn't worried about that. He doesn't think that anyone else in Blue Lock is going to make deals with him anymore. Chigiri can't believe that Team Y has managed to draw the match, since Nico never takes shots himself. Bakira tells him that Nico was actually inspired by Asagi. Lemon goes on, not bothering about the chit-chat between the guys, and begins telling them about the key players of their final opponents. The trio he shows on screen have scored 18 goals in 3 games, thanks to their stupidly good attacking skills. Tsurugi has scored 5 goals, Mikage has scored 6 goals, and Nagi is the team's top scorer with 7 goals. They need to stop them from scoring if they want to win. Asagi thinks back to when he met Nagi, when he got on his nerves. His annoyance is motivating him to win. At Team V's locker room, Tsurugi approaches Nagi, asking him why he left the practice earlier. Nagi simply replies that he couldn't be bothered. Tsurugi advises him against doing this too often, stating a scientific fact that sounds made up. Mikagi interrupts them, saying that Nagi doesn't even need to practice. Tsurugi doesn't want him to spoil Nagi so much. Mikagi calls Nagi his treasure and recalls his past. He was born with a silver spoon into a rich family. He was meant to succeed his father and join his business. He could have anything he wanted, but he found himself getting bored. He believed that if he could get anything easily, it simply wasn't worth getting. He only wanted a treasure that could be his alone. That's when he saw the World Cup and his heart got set on it. He told his father about his plans. His father was against it. He told him that only a chosen few soccer players get to go pro. They advised him to become a top businessman instead. He notes that nothing his parents had ever given him was what he wanted. Sitting in his classroom one day, he decided to make his school the national champions, which ought to shut everyone up, and then he would continue his effort for the World Cup. His prestigious prep school's soccer team was pretty weak, and he didn't know what to do about it. He bumped into Nagi, who dropped his phone while gaming. Nagi saved it by jumping down the stairs and balancing it on his leg. Mikagi was instantly impressed with his control and wondered if he was on the football team. He asked him if he wanted to play football with him. Nagi recognized him as the rich guy's son and asked him for money. He didn't want to play soccer, and he had never played any sports before. He just wanted to chill and do nothing for the rest of his life. Mikage was shocked to hear that. He told him that he had serious talent with his amazing control and physique. He suggested that he could even go pro at soccer. Nagi did not like to work hard, and honestly, soccer sounded like a hassle to him. He hated things he had to work hard at. He never wanted to work. Mikage decided that he liked him and wanted him for his own. He told him he wouldn't have to do anything and offered to play soccer with him. Mikage's life was boring until he found Nagi and soccer. We go back to Team Z, where they are wasting away their time, trying to play the Wanima brothers' What Is This Face game. They need to have a strategy meeting and they know it. Meanwhile, Raichi goes to Kuon's corner and says that he hasn't forgiven him yet. He takes him in a chokehold and suggests the team start taking turns to punch him. The team is ready to punish him. Isagi cannot sit back and let this happen. He tells Raichi to step off, since they can't afford to get him injured as they need him as the 11th player. Kuon is in no mood to play. He can advance as the team's top scorer with 3 goals even if they lose. Kunigami wonders if he still won't play if he scores 3 goals in the next match, becoming the top scorer with 4 goals. Kuon doesn't want to take the bait and doubts that he can score 3 goals. Kunigami is pretty confident, intending to beat him fair and square. Kuon invites him to try, but says that no one can play soccer alone, as he knows better than anyone else. Everyone in the room is instantly curious hearing that. Kuon goes on to say that he has worked really hard to make his dream of winning the World Cup a reality. With a flashback, it is revealed that Kuon's teammates considered him overbearing. It was never their dream to become world champions, just Kuon's. He doesn't want to lose because of his teammates anymore. Bakira asks a very relevant question, pointing out who will advance if the top scorers have an equal number of goals. Chikiri tells him that the one with the fewer yellow cards will advance. He asks what happens if the number of yellow cards is also tied. That's when Ego appears on the screen, saying that the player with a higher blue lock ranging will advance. Raichi is frustrated when Ego reveals that Kuon is the top-ranked player. Ego explains that in the first selection, scoring is the only thing assessed, so technically Kuon hasn't done anything against the rules. However, everyone's surprised to hear him call Kuon the lowest of the low as a striker. His play holds no value since the best striker should be able to reproduce their goals. A one-off, dramatic goal that is scored with pure luck holds no value. Kuon's goal was rigged and scored with betrayal, so it was pure trash. They need a formula to create scoring opportunities and use mathematics to reproduce their goals. They are 23 hours to go for the final match. Raichi threatens to kill Kuon if he tries to do anything. Asagi thinks about what Ego explained and thinks that he can't do anything alone with his spatial awareness weapon. He goes to the practice room where he finds Baru, the top scorer of his team, with 10 goals. Asagi asks him how he can be more like him. Baru advises him to think with his brain and hits him with the ball. Baru challenges him to a one-on-one match and runs towards him. Isagi knows he can't match up with him physically, so he concentrates on his movement. Baru dribbles past him and kicks the ball 20 meters away from the goal and manages to score. Isagi is impressed with his precision. As he starts to leave, Asagi riles him up, provoking him to run back with all his force. Asagi sticks to him, not wanting to give him any chance to shoot. Baru does a feint and scores again. Isagi believes that Baru has a formula for scoring. He promises him that he will stop the ball next time. Isagi tries to predict the position, distance, and angle Baru aims for, so he can take a fast bending shot to the top right corner. Baru tells tells him that his range is 27 meters instead of the 23 meters that he predicted, and shoots the goal from 27 meters away. He thanks Baru for teaching him, but Baru turns him down, saying he just made him realize he's on the field. Isagi returns to the sleeping room with 20 hours to go for the match. He's aware that he can't copy Baru's weapon. Isagi's hands are shaking with fear of losing. Igarashi is also trembling because he doesn't want his career to end. The whole team is awake in the sleeping room in anticipation of the final, except for Bakira, who's drooling in his sleep. Isagi states that their fear will make them stronger, surely helping them to win. With 25 minutes remaining for the final to start, Lemon tells the team their positions. Kunigami, Gagamaru, and Chigiri will be at the front because of their shooting skills. Thinking about the opponent team's strategy, they believe they will play the match more defensively since they only have 10 players. Raichi threatens to kill Kuon if he comes near the ball, and he happily agrees since he gets to avoid any injury. The team is going towards the field. Bakira becomes sad as he doesn't want to stop playing with his teammates and Isagi if they lose. He promises to give his all in the match. The game finally starts, with Isagi noting that Mikagi is the initiator of all their attacks. He's the brains behind the operation, so Bakira and Isagi block him. Team Z knows that he will pass to Tsurugi, which he does. Isagi notes that he scores mid-range shots from a tighter angle on the right side of the goal. That path is smartly blocked by Raichi and Imamura. He predictably passes to Nagi when Igarashi intercepts and steals the ball. With their counterattack in full swing, Team Z begins passing to each other, but doesn't let their defense go easy either. Bakira throws a super long pass to Gagamaru, who does a head dive, but alas, the ball hits the post. There's disappointment in the air. The match continues, and Mikage tells Nagi that he wants to try a certain move. He throws a super long pass at him, which Nagi catches with his leg by jumping, taking the ball in his control. Nagi takes a shot at the goal and scores an amazing goal, leaving Lemon's mouth wide open. Nagi finds it easy enough and wonders why they couldn't do it before. We'll find out in the next couple of episodes of what more is yet to come. And if you're a subscriber with notifications enabled, you'll find out soon enough.